The crisp autumn air brushed against my face as I stood by the window of our suburban house, sipping my lukewarm coffee, staring into nothingness while my wife Lila rushed past me, dressed in her favorite lilac yoga leggings and a matching crop top. "I'm heading to yoga, babe," she chirped, planting a quick, distant kiss on my cheek. It was routine every Tuesday and Thursday evening. Yoga sessions at a studio she claimed changed her life. But what she didn't know was how broken she had made mine. Weeks had passed since I first noticed the change. Lila was once my haven, my laughter, my comfort. But gradually her smiles turned mechanical, her embrace stiff, her late returns normal. I wasn't a paranoid man, but instincts are stubborn things. The way she gripped her phone, the quick swipes to hide her screen when I walked in, the constant giggling over texts that didn't include me. It all planted seeds of doubt. One evening, after yet another hollow dinner, I made my decision. I ordered a small GPS tracker online, the kind marketed to monitor teenage kids or lost pets, and attached it discreetly inside her gym bag. My heart pounded with guilt but screamed louder with desperation. I had to know. I needed closure, whether it would fix us or break me. I couldn't live in the shadows of doubt anymore. The following Tuesday, as Lila left for her yoga session, I waited exactly 10 minutes before grabbing my keys and phone, opening the tracking app. The little blinking blue didn't move towards downtown where her yoga studio was. It was heading to the west side of the city. My pulse quickened, palms sweaty, 1,000 scenarios running through my mind. I followed, maintaining distance, hoping, praying I was wrong. But there it was. The glistening glass facade of the Meridian Hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in the area. I parked across the street, engine off, watching Lila enter the lobby, laughing with someone. I squinted. It was him, Logan, the personal trainer she met at the gym 6 months ago. A sculpted figure, charming smile, always a bit too friendly. My jaw clenched as I watched their bodies brush too close, her hand lingering on his arm before the receptionist handed them a room key. My world crumbled. I wanted to storm in, 'cause a scene demand answers, but something inside me whispered, "Not yet." I needed undeniable proof. My marriage deserved that much. I stayed, waited, let my camera record them entering the elevator, my heart breaking with every passing minute. Returning home that night was the hardest thing I'd ever done. Lila came back late, hair disheveled, eyes sparkling. Not with post-yoga glow but post-cheating bliss. She lied effortlessly about a new intense yoga class and kissed me goodnight while I stared at the ceiling, suffocating under the weight of betrayal. Days turned into a week, and I spent every spare moment gathering evidence. Credit card bills showing hotel charges, messages on her laptop synced unknowingly with our cloud account, pictures, timestamps. I built my case quietly, methodically, emotions buried under a steel mask. But revenge brewed inside me. Then came the perfect opportunity. Our anniversary was approaching. Lila suggested a fancy dinner, acting like the perfect wife, probably oblivious that I already knew of her double life. I agreed enthusiastically and made a reservation. Not at a restaurant but at the Meridian Hotel, the same room she used with Logan, booked under my name. That evening I dressed sharply, wore my best cologne, even bought her roses. She appeared radiant, dressed to kill, completely fooled. I drove us to the hotel, and as we walked in her smile faltered. She recognized the receptionist. I could see her swallow nervously. We rode the elevator in silence, and as the door opened to the suite, I motioned her in. Before she could say a word, the door knocked. Logan stood there, confused, expecting her alone. Behind him, my hired private investigator with a hidden camera recording everything. I turned to Lila, voice steady. "Happy anniversary, sweetheart. Here's to 10 years of love and 1 year of lies." Her face drained of color as I laid out every piece of evidence, every lie, every betrayal on the glass table. She crumbled. Logan tried to escape, but my investigator blocked him, ensuring the footage captured every ounce of their shame. I walked out of the suite, leaving them to their mess, my head held high, dignity intact. The divorce was swift. Our assets divided in my favor thanks to the mountain of evidence. Lila tried to apologize, to explain, but there was no fixing a shattered heart. I sold the house, quit my boring job, traveled across Europe, rediscovered myself. I remembered how during our early years, Lila and I spent weekends driving to lakes, enjoying simple joys, but the woman who stood by my side back then disappeared long ago. In Paris, I met people from around the world. In Greece, I stood atop cliffs and stared at sunsets alone but at peace. In Italy, I learned to cook, something Lila always criticized me for not being good at. Months later, I met Emma, a yoga instructor ironically, during a beach retreat in Bali. Emma was different. Her laughter was honest, her affection constant, and she carried no deceit. Our bond grew naturally. She taught me to trust again, to smile without pretense. She admired my scars, my resilience, and I found comfort in her honesty. Lila texted once. "I regret everything," she wrote. "Logan left me. I'm lost." I didn't reply. Not because I hated her, but because I had healed, and her chaos no longer deserved a place in my life. Years later, I built a life with Emma, filled with love, respect, and mutual dreams. Lila's betrayal had destroyed a part of me, but it also forced me to rebuild into someone stronger. I finally found peace, not in betrayal or revenge, but in moving forward, stronger and freer than ever before. And that was the end of my yoga nightmare, and the beautiful beginning of my real life.